Hello viewers, welcome to Kids Auto and Truck Repair. Today we have a 2004 Hyundai Sonata. The customer complaint on this vehicle is the window does not stay up. The window rolls down by itself. So he had to tape the window against the door to keep it up. As you can see, there's duct tape over here. So now we're gonna remove this duct tape so we can confirm the complaint. All right, so let's open the door. As you can see, the window is not closed all the way. So let's turn the key on and see if we can roll the window up and down with the button, with the window switch. I'm going to turn the key on. So let's try to roll the window up and down. So when I try to roll the window up and down, I can hear the motor running. Listen. The motor is running, but the window doesn't go up and down. It goes down, but watch this. It doesn't go up. Okay, I can actually push it down with my hand. So this is a classic symptom of a defective window regulator. Okay, so the window doesn't go up and down, but we can hear the motor running behind the panel. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn the key off. Let's get rid of that buzzing noise. Let's remove the door panel. Let's get the door panel removed so we can get access to the window regulator. I believe the window regulator is broken. That's why the window doesn't stay up. So to remove the door panel, we're gonna undo these two Phillips screws. So we have two screws over here. There's another screw back here behind the door handle. And then we have one Phillips screw over here, one more over here. And after that, we have another over here. There's a screw right here, just below this handle. And then there is another one over here on the bottom of the door panel. There's one right here. And then there's another one over here. So after that, we're gonna be able to pop the door panel out. So now let's remove these screws. I'm gonna undo these two Phillips screws over here first. I showed you the screws that I'm removing, so let's do this. And then there's another one over here. Just below this door handle. There's another screw right there. And then down here we have another Phillips screw. So all of them are Phillips screws. And then we have a second one over here. So now we're gonna remove this speaker over here. Okay, so we can just hang this over here. We don't have to disconnect it. We have two Phillips screws over here. I'm gonna have to use a shorter Phillips screwdriver. And then there's another screw behind this door handle over here. I'm gonna remove this one now. So So after removing this screw, this plastic cover for the door handle is going to come out. Okay, so then in the center of this plastic cover there's a screw that you have to remove. All right, now I'm going to undo these Phillips screws over here. After I undo these two Phillips screws, then the door panel is going to come off. Okay, so now we're just gonna find, let me get a trim tool. We're gonna use this trim tool to pop the door panel. So we're gonna put it down here and then pop this. As you can see, our door panel is popping. Okay, we're gonna lift it up. So just like that. Now the door panel is removed. So at this point, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna disconnect the electrical connectors of the window switch. I'm gonna disconnect this white one first. There's a tab over here I gotta push and then pull the connector down. Actually, let's do this one first. I'm going to disconnect this yellow one first, just like that. So you push this tab down and then pull. And then there's another one over here. Okay, you press this tab and then you pull down. And then there's this one. Same process, just like that. Push this tab down and then pull. And now our door panel can now come out. So now we're gonna remove the door panel. We're gonna get it out of the way. So we're gonna remove this. Okay, this little insulation here, we're gonna remove that. All right, so we got this up. Down here I can see the bolts that hold the window on the regulator. Okay, so we're gonna undo these two 10mm bolts so that we can lift the window up. This is gonna keep the window up for us. Now we're gonna remove this bolt over here. I had to wedge a screwdriver down here to keep the window up a little bit so I can get to this screw. And then we're gonna remove the second one. Oh, fell down. Okay, never mind, I'm gonna take it afterwards. So now we should be able to lift the window. Okay, so right now the window can be lifted off of the regulator. So watch this. I'm gonna lift the window up here. Watch this, see that? So now we can just lift the window up and tape it against the door. So now we're gonna lift the window up. I'm gonna use some dark tape to keep the window up. Just like that. Perfect. So that's gonna keep the window up and out of the way. So now we're gonna remove these bottom nuts for the window regulator. These are 10mm nuts. I'm gonna remove these two. We have two more up here. But before I remove these two, I'm gonna remove the nuts for the motor first, for the window motor. So we're gonna undo these nuts over here. 1, 2, 3. And then this one. We're gonna undo this. Actually, before I undo the last one, let me disconnect the electrical connector of the window motor first. Just like that. Okay. So as you can see, the motor is removed. The motor is off. So now I'm gonna undo this guy over here. So after we undo these two nuts, our regulator will come out with the motor. So I'm gonna hold this up like this, and then I'm gonna remove the window motor and the window regulator. I'm gonna hold this up here. I'm gonna put a piece of duct tape on this so it doesn't come down. So now we can remove our window regulator. Our window regulator can come out. So the regulator is gonna come out through this opening. So here's the window regulator and motor. You see how messed up this is? So let's take this to the bench. I just got the regulator. We're gonna have to install this motor on the new regulator, and then we're gonna put it back together. So let's go to the bench. Here is our old window regulator. As you can see, the cables on the regulator came off. Now this motor is still good, but the regulator is the problem. Okay, now this is the new window regulator. So when I ordered this regulator assembly, here's the part number. It's Dorman. When I ordered this regulator assembly, I thought it was just a regulator, but after I opened the box, I realized that this regulator came with the motor. Okay, so we got a brand new motor here. So I thought I was gonna have to swap this motor, but it looks like we don't need that. We're gonna just install this entire assembly. We should be good to go because this came with the motor. Okay, so now let's take this to the vehicle so we can install it. So here's our brand new window regulator assembly. So we're gonna get it out of the box. Let's open the bag here. Okay, someone is calling me. Let's see who that is. We are back. So we're gonna get our window regulator assembly out of the bag. Now this is gonna go this way. Okay. So, no, this way. So it's gonna go this way. Okay. So now we're gonna install it this way. So at this point, everything I'm doing is the reverse process of the removal process. So everything we did backwards. So I'm feeding everything through here. So just like that, and I'm gonna make sure that everything lines up here. Okay, so the motor is sticking out here. I mean, the studs for the motor are sticking out. So now I'm gonna get the nuts started. So we got the motor in place. Oh, it's raining outside. I hope my camera is not getting wet. All right, so we got the studs for the motor started. So now we're gonna line up the studs for the regulator. Okay, now I'm gonna have to lower the window mount down because the window mount is kind of sticking halfway up here. So I'm gonna have to lower it down so that I can install the window on the regulator mount. So I'm gonna tighten the nuts for the electric motor first. Let's get this tight. And then I'm gonna reconnect the electrical connector of the window motor. Just like that. Now I'm gonna have to use the switch, the window switch, to lower. I'm gonna have to use the window switch to lower the regulator. So I'm gonna have to reconnect the panel just temporarily to lower this window mount. So I'm gonna reconnect the electrical connectors of the switch that we disconnected. I'm going to turn the key on. So just like that. Now I'm going to disconnect this. So as you can see now, the window mount over here is now down, so we had to lower it. So now I'm gonna get the So now I'm going to make sure that our studs over here line up just like that. Okay. And then we're gonna install the nuts for the window regulator. So I'm gonna double check the tightness of the nuts of the electric motor, and then we're gonna tighten these guys down here. Now you don't want to go too tight on these. So this is tightened, that's tightened. We're good to go. So now I'm gonna remove the duct tape that we put up here, and then I'm gonna lower the window. So now we're gonna start lowering the window. Just like that. As you can see, our window is coming down. Okay, the window is lined up. Now we're gonna get the bolt for the window started. All right, we got these two window bolts started. So now I'm going to tighten them. Okay, now I'm just double checking the tightness of this nut. Great. So now we're gonna start putting everything back together. Now this glue is still good over here. So we're just gonna reuse this glue. But if this glue is no longer working, we could duct tape this. Okay. All right, so that's it. Now we have this little piece of cushioning that goes over here. All right, so now we're ready to install the door panel. I'm gonna bring the door panel here so we can install it. So here comes our door panel. Now we're gonna start reconnecting the electrical connectors of these switches over here. All right, so just like that. Now I didn't disconnect the electrical connector of this courtesy light because the tab that holds it down broke. So that's why. Okay. So we got everything reconnected. So now our panel can now be installed. All right. So at this point, we're gonna make sure that our door panel is lined up. We're gonna hook it up here first. Just like that. All right, the door panel is installed. Now, before we put all the screws back on, I'm gonna turn the key on so we can roll our window up and down to verify our repair. Let's see if this is fixed, and then we're gonna install all the screws back on, and after that we should be good to go. Now I'm gonna turn the key on so we can roll the window up and down. So watch this. As you can see, the window is now rolling all the way up. If I try to push this, I can push this down. The window is all the way down, all the way up, halfway. All right, so we're good. This is fixed. So now we can put everything back together, okay? Now, replacing the window regulator on this vehicle is very straightforward. So now I'm gonna install this cover for the handle over here, for the inside door handle, and then I'm gonna install the little screw that goes over here. Okay, so we are technically done. Everything I'm doing right now is the reverse process of the removal process, and it's everything that I showed you earlier. All the screws that I showed you earlier is what I'm now installing. We have two more over here. And then we're gonna install this guy. Just like that. And then there's another screw over here. I'm gonna install that one, and then this one here. Got that one, and then we have two more down here. And then one last one over here. All right, so we're good to go. This is done. So key is on. right there. Window goes down, window goes up, so we're good. So this is fixed, guys. That's it. I'm gonna leave this right over here. This is how you remove and replace a driver's side window regulator and window motor on this 2004 Hyundai Sonata with a 2.4 liter. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumb down. But if you do, you gotta tell me why, so we can make better videos in the future. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. If you have any comments, questions, criticism, leave them in the comment box. Thanks for watching. See you next time.